Hi everyone. So today I'm all about creating my life from the inside out. It feels like ever since the beginning of this year, it was all about that when I announced that I understand now that, wanting peace, wanting love, wanting happiness, joy, it's not going to come from outside. And which means that I now must create conditions for myself to experience it on the inside. And when I start going there, it just goes to such an extent, it goes against everything that I thought about life and everything that I was raised about on. What is reality, what is love, what behavior shows that you care and all that stuff. And for example, this morning there was something that was a source of worry for me, and so immediately I connected to this like pressure, right? What is worry? It's what's happening in my nervous system. There is pressure, there's this emotion of, it could be fear, it could be anticipation of something scary, right, to happen. What it is actually, the way I experience it in my body, is this all this emotion bubbling up. And so the way I discharged it today, I started yelling to my husband over all the things that I feel he's not doing enough of in that realm. And as soon as I got it out of me, I realized that this is exactly, what I'm. You know what? It's not even that I should or should not be doing this, because it actually felt good to express that I expect more from him in this particular realm, because it's something about a project that we're co-creating together. However, what is mine is the fear and the worry that comes up in me, because my fear and worry is based on my lived experience. So whatever he is feeling or not feeling, is the fact that he is thinking or looking at it differently is not a problem. For me to communicate to him what it is that I would like to see from him, once again, because we're co-creating, it's not something to make me feel better. It's not something to make me feel happier. It's about a project that we're both involved in. And so the expectation that he kind of participates in it feels valid to me. I was glad that I communicated it. And I also was very aware of the fact that he didn't just brush it off, which is something new. Because usually when he feels that I'm kind of nagging or criticizing, he just shuts off. He didn't shut down. He actually participated with me. But it gave me an opportunity to come back to my own feelings, and that basically what happened is I confronted the fact that I fear whatever it is that I need to happen will not happen in the way that I'm hoping. And I also know that I used to spend a lot of time focusing on the things that I fear, anticipating that it won't go according to plan. And where I am now, where I'd like to live now, is what if I hope that it will work out? It doesn't mean that I don't do anything. I will still do the same thing that I'm already doing to make this, to co-create this that I want. But what if I do what I do in the hope that it will work out, that everything will work out, that everything is always working out for me, rather than doing what I'm doing, but attaching to the thought that it won't work out or it may not work out. So it's such an interesting place to be, because on one hand, I understand it's quite logical, if I am creating something, that I focus on that it will work. And yet it's been kind of drilled into my being that if I don't worry, I'm not responsible, or I don't care enough, or I'm not adulting or something. Like the way I was raised, people who don't worry are just not understanding the situation. They're not realistic. They're not responsible, not grown up. That it's childish to be so, optimistic and always hoping for the best. And so it's this confrontation that I experience now between the reality that is familiar, the one that you worry about, the one that you try to fix, and the reality where you continue participating in, but with the hope that it'll all work out like it always does for me. So, this it's quite challenging. It's quite challenging because there are nuances, and like again today, with what I experienced this morning and what I kind of shared with my husband, I could have processed it on my own, but because he's a partner in this project, it was important that I communicate that I feel unsupported in this situation, while realizing that my feelings of insecurity or my fear are mine, and he cannot put a different feeling into me, whether he behaves differently or not. And actually, as I was journaling in my diary this morning, I also remembered plenty of opportunities in our 30-something life together where he was behaving in a very different way. He was behaving exactly the way I would love him to behave now, and it still didn't feel like enough. And that's very honest, and and it has to be said. So all this just to confirm that whatever I'm experiencing comes from me and my background. And so that's one layer. The other layer is it's okay to communicate to the people with whom I am involved in a project whether there is something that I'd like to be done differently or but it maybe disrupted. And the third thing is, how can I step in this life, continue stepping in this life, understanding that I don't control much, and that the only thing that is in control is how I show up to any particular situation. So even this particular project that I'm thinking about, can I believe that life is a welcoming place, that I believe that things will work out the way I am intending and hoping, and that I don't need to add my fear to that adding my fear is not going to move the project where I want it to go. In fact, it'll be more of an obstacle. So there's a lot of this kind of, sifting through debris of old beliefs and old ways of operating, and realizing that it really doesn't serve me anymore, and that there is a new way that I would like to start living and being. But to go there, I have to unlock a lot of these fears and beliefs that I'm irresponsible if I don't worry, and things like that, that the seriousness is expressed through worry. So yeah, so that's where I'm at today, and I will be back to all this tomorrow.